In 2018, we commemorate the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. At 11 a.m. on November the 11th, 1918, the guns fell silent, and the armistice marked the end of the world's first global war. This came after 4 years of intense fighting. Young men with their lives ahead of them sent into muddy and bloody trenches. And volunteers from Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and other parts of the world came together in service and solidarity. These were the faces of World War I. These are our ancestors.
The guy who was, watching my back got shot because I couldn't do my job. He loved watching movies. He always played country music. Good kid. Athletic. Played basketball a couple times. We have these packaged meals. Inside it, there's a lemon pound cake. He just turned 18, so we got that pound cake. We got candles. And then, that was his birthday gift. He told me he joined so he could get money for college. Just a couple months after that, he lost his life.
Vivian Abalon. My branch of service was in the Army Air Force World War II. I was PFC. Back then we didn't get rank. I was working as a staff sergeant, but the ranks were for the fellas that were going overseas and all. And we were just glad to help out and do the work. I enlisted with my girlfriend, and from that day on, I never saw her. She was shipped to Germany. In fact, she started off at the South Post, and they put me on the North Post. Then she was shipped to Germany, and we have never, ever seen each other since. Now she, I believe, is in North Dakota. Yeah, it was too bad.
Today is our day to support those values and especially to honor those who stood up for us. The more time goes on, the more difficult it is for many of us to know very much about exactly who they really were. But we do know something much more important, that they fought for our way of life and in many cases died for it. We remember young men and women who remain forever young in our history and in our minds because their service led to their sacrificing their later years and sacrificing all the promise and opportunity that we have been able to experience thanks to them. However far away these conflicts may be, either in time or in geography, the men and women that we honor today served on our behalf for the same reasons. And no matter how long ago or how far away, we must never, ever forget what they did and why they did it.
I have, in 1988, my youngest son married the daughter of a Japanese kamikaze pilot, which took me from hatred to love of family. I have 3 Japanese grandchildren. What we learned about the Japanese, or what they learned about us, that war is an atrocity, that evil has to be wiped out. We are not what we believe. We are all human beings, exactly the same. And there's evil in the world today, and we have to fight that evil to make sure that there's freedom for free-loving people in our world.
I'm PFC James Skinner, August 28, 1942 to November 9, 1945, and I'm a Purple Heart veteran, got wounded on Guam.
My name is Donald R. Farnham, F-A-R-N-H-A-M. I was a private first class in the Marine Corps from 1943 to 1945.
Well, I am Lawrence F. Snowden, S-N-O-W-D-E-N, Lieutenant General, United States Marine Corps, retired. I served in World War II, in Korea and Vietnam.
My name is Jerry Yellen, and I served in World War II, one of 16 million who served their nation then.
On Remembrance Day, we acknowledge the courage and sacrifice of those who serve their country and acknowledge our responsibility to work for the peace they fought so hard to achieve. It is about remembering those who are not only lost in the war, but those who so bravely fought for our country.
So Remembrance Day, I believe, is an opportunity for us to learn about and appreciate the sacrifices that the soldiers have made. Their contributions, whether on the battlefield or on the home lines, they were not in vain, because everything that you see here was a result of those sacrifices.
There could be a lot of reasons why soldiers fight for this country. I mean, they love our country, they love the freedom, and we usually take for granted our rights, and a lot of countries don't have the same luxuries as we do. So I think that's one of the reasons why we fight.
By remembering their service and their sacrifice, we're able to recognize the tradition of freedom that these men and women fought so hard to preserve. They believe that their actions in the present would make a significant difference for the future, but it is up to us, the future generation, to ensure that their dream of peace is fulfilled.
In the life of our nation, across every generation, there are those who stand apart. They step up, they raise their hands, they take that oath, they put on the uniform, and they put their lives on the line. They do this so that the rest of us might live in a country and a world that is safer, freer, and more just. This is the gift they've given us. This is the debt that we owe them. Today, our message to all those who've ever worn the uniform of this nation is this: we will stand by your side, whether you're 7 days out or 70 years out. We honor the sacrifice that has been made in our name for this nation that we love, and we commit ourselves to standing by these veterans and their families for as long as we're blessed to walk this earth.